Hi, welcome back. I'm Stella. Today I'm going to answer a question I get every single week, or I get told I didn't even know there was a difference. The question is, what is the difference between a type A and type B care community? Families ask me this all the time, and I get it. Nobody explains it clearly. The communities do not always explain it. The hospital does not explain it. So families just guess. And when families guess wrong, they end up in a community that is not the right fit. Then 6 months later, they get a phone call. Your loved one's needs have gone beyond what we can handle. You need to find somewhere else. That call is devastating, and it is often preventable. So today I'm going to explain type A and type B care in plain language. No medical terms, no confusion, just the real difference and how to choose the right one from the start. So let's go. Let's start with type A. Type A assisted living is for people who need a little help, not a lot, just some. Here is who type A is for. Your loved one needs help with things like bathing, getting dressed, or remembering to take medicine. But they can walk on their own. They know where they are. They can tell staff when something is wrong. They are mostly independent. Think of it like this. Type A is like having a helpful neighbor nearby, someone who checks in, someone who helps when you ask, but your loved one is still running their own day. Now, the staffing at a type A is about one caregiver for every 10 residents during the day, and the cost usually is between 2 to 4,000 per month. Here is a real example. Your mom needs help getting in the shower and taking her blood pressure pill, but she gets herself dressed. She makes her own coffee in the morning. She can tell the nurse when her knee is hurting. That is type A. The environment feels lighter. There are a lot of activities. People come and go. It feels more like an apartment building with support, not a medical facility. Now, how long does a person stay in type A? Usually 2 to 5 years until their needs grow. And when they do, that is when families need to think about type B. Now let's talk about type B. Type B assisted living is for people who need a lot of help every day with almost everything. Here is who type B is for. Your loved one needs help with all personal care, bathing, dressing, eating, getting to the toilet. They may use a wheelchair or a walker. They may have dementia and not always know where they are or who you are. They may need someone nearby at all times because their behavior is unpredictable. Type B is not a step down. It is a step toward more care, the right care for where your loved one is right now. And the staffing, about one caregiver for every 6 residents. Sometimes even more staff than that. And the cost usually is between $4,500 to $8,000 or more per month. Here is a real example. Your dad needs help with everything. Bathing, dressing, eating. He uses a wheelchair. He has dementia and sometimes does not recognize you when you visit. He gets upset easily and needs calm, steady reassurance. That is type B. The environment feels more like a care community. Staff are nearby more often. There is more structure to the day. Your loved one has more eyes on them, more support around them. Staff in type B communities have specific training. They know how to work with people who have dementia. They know how to handle hard moments with patience and skill. How long do people stay in type B? Often 2 to 5 years or more, sometimes until the end of life. Let me talk honestly about the money for a minute. Type B can cost $2,000 to $4,000 more per month than type A. Why? Because it takes more people to care for your loved one. Those caregivers have more training. There is more supervision, more equipment, more support. The cost difference adds up to $2,400 to $4,800 more per year. That is a big number, and it is exactly why getting the right level of care from the start matters so much. Here is what I see. A family places their loved one in type A because it is more affordable, but their loved one actually needs type B. For a while it works, then it does not. The community calls and says they cannot handle the needs anymore. Now the family has to move their loved one again. Another transition, another adjustment, more stress for everyone. And then there's usually a community fee that has to be paid up front before you even move in. So that's another fee that, will accumulate for the family. So choosing the right level of care from the beginning saves money and heartache. Here's the most common mistake I see. A family tours a type A community. It is beautiful. The people are warm. The garden is lovely. The cost fits their budget. They love it. They move their loved one in. 6 months later, something changes. Maybe there is a fall. Maybe the dementia gets worse. Maybe the behavior becomes harder to manage and the community calls. We have done our best, but your loved one needs more care than what we can give. You need to find a type B community. The family is shocked. They thought this was the place. They already told their loved one this was home. They already set up the room. Now they have to start all over. Another search, another move, another goodbye to a place that felt safe. This happens all the time, and most of the time it was preventable. How do you prevent it? You ask the right questions before you even tour. So you ask this: are you a type A or type B, or do you offer both? You can also ask, how do you figure out which level my loved one actually needs? And the other question you need to ask: if their needs grow after they move in, can you keep them, or do they have to move? Get those answers. Write them down, because the right answers right now will protect your loved one and your family later. So here's the bottom line. This is not about which type is better. There is no better. There is only the right fit for your loved one right now. If your loved one needs a type B care, a type A community, no matter how beautiful it is, will eventually say they cannot keep them. If your loved one only needs type A care, a type B community will work, but you will be paying more than you need to. The goal is to match your loved one's real needs to the community that can actually meet their needs. That is what I help families do every day. I look at your loved one's actual needs. I find communities that can actually provide it. And I help your family ask the right questions so you are not surprised 6 months from now. And that is what Tour Senior Living is built for. Want to see a simple side-by-side comparison of a type A and type B? I have a free chart for you. Go to StellaWilliamsTX.com and go to the free guide section. And, there's other guides in there, but that type A and type B chart will be there. And download it. Take it with you when you tour. Show it to the community. Ask them to tell you where your loved one fits. If you are in Central Texas, Austin, Williamson County, Hayes County, Bastrop, and you need help figuring this out, call me, 737-389-2130. It's no cost to you. I'm bilingual, and I'm here for you. Thanks for listening, and have a blessed day.